Hello, I am Dr. Darnita L. Payton, and my purpose is to educate, encourage, and enlighten. Thank you so much for taking the time to stop by my channel today. I am so grateful that you are here. If you've not watched the introduction to this series, please go back and do that as I explain why we're here, and then come back to part 1, which we will talk about today, and that is acknowledging your fears. Let me ask you this question. Does your life feel disrupted? Perhaps your thoughts may feel full of disorder and confusion. Maybe your behaviors may even lack some coherence and order. We've all been there. The first step that we're going to talk about, as I said, is acknowledging your fears. Now, I want you to take a look at this graphic and tell me what you think when you see it. You look at this and you think or feel what? It's fear and it's anxiety. Although she really just kind of looks cold, and he just seems as if he's over it with his hands just up in the air. Denial is not productive. I need you to say that with me. Denial is not productive. It is not a recommended coping mechanism. Now, I am not telling you to marry your fears, and I'm not telling you to bring them home and make them your best friend forever. But I am encouraging you to acknowledge them, because I want you to know that having a fear does not make you weak, but we want to make sure that those fears are valid. Many people may still feel afraid to return to the workplace or to their everyday activities, to restaurants and things of that nature. Sidebar, meet me over here. I'm an introvert, so I could stay in until the rapture, but I know that is not everybody's jam, and you have to know what your level of comfort is in these situations. The key, however, is not to allow your fears to take over your life and your thinking. Instead, you want to take control of those fears. Now, if you all know that I am a believer, a follower of Christ, so I believe in taking those fears under the control of prayer and using scripture to help me overcome any fears that I may have. But if you express yourself more effectively in writing, I suggest that you start a journal. And I don't mean the "Are you there, God is me, Margaret" kind of journal. Just take a few moments every day to express some level of gratitude. Write down those fears so that you will have proof, as it were, to refute those fears if they come true. If you are a person who is more verbal or visual, you could do the same thing, making a recording or a video, and you can keep that for yourself, or you could share that with others. But do you see my point here? It's the acknowledging by whatever means that is effective, whether you journal, whether you make a video, or you make an audio recording, because it's important to get those fears and thoughts out of your head, right? Where you can deal with them, whether you can pray over them, whether you can use scripture to combat them. You get them out of your head, you pray through them, you write them down, you record them, and then you can focus on whether they are real or imagined, minimal or severe. By journaling, again, you will have that proof that says, oh, okay, that wasn't as bad as I imagined that it was, or wow, that happened and it was difficult, but I survived. And you get to thank God and celebrate because you did survive. So that's it for the first part in our series on 5 steps to total wellness of the mind. Please, again, make sure that you watch the intro video and come back next week for part 2, where we're going to talk about identifying circumstances and situations. Thank you so much for taking the time to stop by today. If no one has told you how awesome you are, I want you to know that you are absolutely awesome. And I look forward to seeing you next week for part 2. Take care. God bless. Bye.